Hello and hi there. Today I would like to share with everyone a strategic principle associated with the competitive positioning in the context of strategic management and innovation that is titled Avoiding Strength and Striking Weakness. So this principle actually emphasizes a indirect competition by targeting gaps in efficiency and vulnerabilities within the existing market, rather than engaging in a direct competition against the competitors' strongest capabilities. So, before I start, I would like to share the first part of my sharing is more related to analyzing the principle of avoiding strength and striking weakness. And then the second part, I will share about a company called Grab, which successfully applied this principle in the modern competitive environment and business today. So, without further ado, let me start by sharing what is the meaning of the principle avoiding strength and striking weakness. It is actually a strategic logic that actually prioritizes indirect competition and exploiting competitor weakness rather than direct confrontation. So this concept actually originates from a military strategy developed by Sun Tzu and is actually associated from the book The Art of War, where actually it explains strategic success is achieved by exploiting weaknesses while avoiding direct confrontation on strong positions. This principle is actually quite relevant today to the competitive advantage and innovation management. So, most organizations that apply this approach actually seek um, market opportunities successfully by neglecting established competitors while creating a differentiated value proposition. So let's look at the principle in two parts. So the principles avoiding strength and striking weakness can be broken down into two major phases. The first part is avoiding strength. So it actually refers to the strategy not to compete directly in areas where competitors possess overwhelming advantages. This provides a more effective and efficient use of organization resource by identifying actually competitors' underserved markets, operational inefficiency, and technology gaps, where actually the incumbents are less responsive. So in return, actually this shortens the company's or the organization way to victory by maximizing the organization profit and returns with just minimal expenditure of resources in the shortest time possible. Strategically avoiding strength actually reduces the risk associated with direct competition. So competing directly against this strength can lead to a lot of attrition, as you know, like aggressive price wars, high marketing costs, and resource exhaustion, particularly for those smaller or emerging firms. So many of successful organizations actually pursue alternate pathway to competitive advantage by redefining the market boundaries and introduce innovative business models. So let's look at the second part of the principle that is striking weakness. Actually, this involves identifying and exploiting the competitors' vulnerabilities and the weakest part of their value chain strategically. Weakness can be like for a company could be outdated technologies, inefficient system, high price, limited accessibility, or even failure to respond to changing consumer behaviors. So organization applying this principle can actually focus their resources on on these areas where the competitor are less prepared to respond effectively. One of the famous quote by a German um, strategic term called Schwerpunkt, which means the center of gravity or the focal point of effort, It is also one of the strategy that kinds of gel with the principle of Sun Tzu. So Sherpunks actually refer to concentrating resources and capabilities on a decisive point where the greatest strategic impact can be achieved. So you can see how this is relevant to striking weakness as well in the strategic management. So organizations often use this idea to focus their innovation investment on the specific weakness within a market rather than spreading across their resources on all areas of competition. So a major advantage of striking weakness is that it allows organization to compete asymmetrically. So rather than matching the competitors' resources, they can actually use agility, innovation, and responsiveness to gain market share. This is particularly relevant in the digital industries, where technology actually enables rapid growth without requiring any physical infrastructure extensively. So platform-based businesses often exploit these weaknesses in as compared to in the traditional industries to try to improve the convenience, the accessibility, and the integration through the digital solutions. So you may ask me how is this relevant to modern competitive environment, this principle? So current day business environment are increasingly shaped by digital transformation, globalization, and also rapid technology innovation. Traditional industry has lots of boundaries and has become less stable as digital platforms emerges to disrupt these established business models. So one major feature of the modern competition today is the rise of the platform economies, or otherwise known as the digital platforms. The digital platforms allow organizations to connect consumers, service providers, and businesses through an integrated ecosystem that generate a networking effect and operation efficiencies. You can see companies today like Grab, Airbnb, Uber have transformed their traditional industry by exploiting these weaknesses within the traditional service providers. The principle of avoiding strength and weakness is particularly important within this environment because direct competition with dominant organization often requires very substantial financial and also operational resources. So many of these innovative organizations focus on unmet customer needs, their inefficiency, and the neglected market segments. Targeting these areas where the incumbents perform poorly, they can actually have a differentiated positions and avoid costly competitive battles. Not to mention also in modern business world today, consumer expectations also have changed significantly, and customers now today demand convenience, speed, accessibility, and also personalized experience. The traditional business that we have those days fail to adapt to this expectation, and this actually create opportunities for innovative entrants. So technology-driven firms often exploit these kind of weaknesses through the mobile applications, the digital payments, the data analytics, and also the AI-based services. And furthermore, innovative cycles are becoming shorter and shorter. So this actually require many companies today to become more agile and also responsive. The dynamic capabilities such as rapid adaptation, the ecosystem development, and continuous innovation have become an essential strategic asset. So any organizations that avoid competitor strength and exploiting the market gaps here are often more capable to respond to the changing environment effectively. And companies who actually fail to evolve today will quickly lose its relevance despite having a good initial strategic success. So let's look at Grab, uh, this company, and how it actually successfully applied the principle of Sun Tzu, which is avoiding strength and striking weakness within the modern digital business world. So Grab actually was a company that was founded in year 2012 as a ride-hailing platform. It actually expanded rapidly across Southeast Asia by exploiting the weakness within the traditional taxi transportation system while avoiding direct competition with those established taxi operators operation structures. So Grab clearly sees a market gap in the conventional taxi ecosystem. They see that the Southeast Asia cities face many inefficiencies. The consumers frequently experience unreliable taxi availability, poor service quality, inconsistent pricing, and safety concerns, and as well as limited booking convenience. So traditional taxi companies actually relied heavily on conventional hailing system, and this actually lacked the integrated digital platforms capable of improving the customer experience. So rather than competing directly with the taxi fleets or the transportation infrastructure, Grab actually adopted a platform-based business model that connected all the independent drivers and consumers through the mobile phone technology. Through the application of the natural law of physics, this strategic approach actually allowed Grab to avoid the operation strength of a traditional taxi company while focusing on the market critical gaps where the customer frustration and service inefficiency. So by introducing the mobile booking system, a transparent pricing, driver tracking, digital payments transparency, and customer rating system, Grab actually was able to address a lot of major weaknesses that is present within the existing transportation market. Aside to that, innovation also played a critical role in Grab's strategic success. So the company utilized smartphone technology, data analytics, GPS location system, and digital platform integration to improve efficiency and accessibility. Grab's mobile application actually provide customers with convenience, reliability, and safety as compared to the traditional transportation options. So as smartphone actually adopt increase in across Southeast Asia, Grab actually successfully aligned its service with the changing consumer behavior and our digital lifestyle. Grab actually further strengthened its competitive position through localization strategy as well. You can see that the app itself, the service, it adopts to the local market conditions, the language, the payment system, and the transportation needs. So this actually enabled the company to build a really strong customer relationship and improve the market responsiveness across a diverse Southeast Asia country. The organization also expanded strategically beyond the ride-hailing also into like food delivery, logistic, and digital financial services too, as you see today. Through this development of its super app ecosystem, Grab actually integrated multiple services within a single platform. So this diversification strategy actually reduced the dependence on the transportation revenues and also increased the customer engagement and ecosystem value. So all in all, you can see how Grab actually successfully applied the principle of avoiding strength and striking weakness, and by targeting the inefficiency within the traditional transportation system. Thank you, everyone. That's all for my sharing today, and goodbye.